talk. If you have any questions, if you have questions in about setting up a portfolio site, show you resume, LinkedIn, and any anything that should be useful in pitching yourself as a motion designer. Hold on. Anything that will be useful. But I did class, so I did teach. Hello, sorry. Can you guys hear me now? Yes. Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So please, this is going to be a conversational class, a conversational meeting, and we'll do this together. I'm very very concerned about this part of the class because this is well what will help you for the rest of your career. I really want you guys to succeed much more better than I have, because while learning motion design, we had to figure a lot of things on our own, which were not very pleasant experience. So please, we'll have a conversation around this. Then around it before I continue with continue by building a demo portfolio. If we have time, we could also do a demo show reel. But before then, I really want to hear all of your voice. We've been learning for 7 weeks, I mean 6 weeks now, and we have not had a one-on-one conversation. So this is our time. Thank God we are not so many here. We want to talk. Let me start with Leo. Leo, hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm
On
fine.
your mic.
I'm okay.
Okay. I want to know your experience so far with the classes. What have you been your what are your take home, and what are your blockers, if I may ask?
Okay, yeah. My take home is for starters the fact that we don't get to make, the let's just say I'll call it mistakes for now. The mistakes where our predecessors made before we, so we know like what to do, what not to do, and how to do it right. So instead of making that mistake, we can just get on and move further, past some blockers like that. And take home for me would be the fact that sometimes you can't just do some things alone. You need you need creative mind also. Like
Oh,
people
yeah.
that think like you. Like you need to make sense today. That's why being here, I've met with a lot of people on the Discord channel. Like each time I like maybe hit a block, you are be able to like, okay, I can call social person and you can put me through. And yeah,
Oh,
it's been a very formative class so far.
beautiful. I also to ask, have you been able to make any friend or associate during the course of learning, like a accountability partner or somebody that you've been sharing your obstacles with?
Oh yeah, but I'm not sure he's here currently. I
Okay.
have actually.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Because is a very important aspect to your growth, because whenever you are not alone, I think the word is community. It's
Yeah.
easier when you are learning with people. I have a lot of people I got to know in the course of my journey. especially the ones that are almost close to your level. When I mean close to your level, like maybe they are in the same phase as you are. They are in the same
Yeah,
phase as you are because most times, some you can't find everything on the internet. You can't find
exactly.
everything, or you can't find everything on the internet. But when you have such people who have the time to want to know that same thing you are trying to know, they can help you point you to the best direction. I have a lot of them when I was learning. I think this is the right time to um make such friends around, okay, that can help you figure out some things. But so far, in terms of the phases we've done, like logo animation, animating UI, um, animating interface. What 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 have been your what do you think your interest is? Which of the classes do you find most interesting for you that you feel like, okay, I want to be doing more of this, even if it's not the one that have been mentioned or that we have done anything yet. I would like to know that.
Okay, yeah. My my general interest in motion, I think it falls on VFX because I actually want to graduate and move to other applications that deal with motion, so like 4D, even Blender and the rest. So my dream, or should I say my passion, has been to create movie effects that look so real. You know those movies we watch and you be like, okay, they destroy so buildings, cars, this and that. I want to be able to create something like that, and let it be that yeah, I did something like that, and it's, honestly, that feeling is different from any other thing.
I totally agree with you on that. It's a very niche down field. I think we have a lot of local content creators that done nice VFX. We have Creed Motion, the guy that did with that worked on the- that what's his name again? This Fireboy. That Fireboy is app song
Oh,
that
the band, the one you did with
but
Ashake.
yeah, I think they did some VFX and
Yes,
CGI
yes,
idea
that was
that
close
was
to,
yeah, that was very remarkable.
yeah.
Beautiful production there. So I think one thing that can help you is to follow their community, and they have a community. VFX guys, they have their own set of community. So you need to follow their community. Take some courses if you don't mind. Take some professional courses for around some professional courses will help you. And at the end of the day, it's all come down to practicing because you have more work to do. It all comes down to practicing for yourself. And I believe you'll be on the very best part. I can't wait to see the kind of project you put out there in the future as regards BFF. But before now, have you been designing or do you have any other?
I won't say I've been designing before now. Like literally, I have not even touched Photoshop, Illustrator, or After Effects as of I think October last year. That was when I started. And looking at where I am now, what I can do, I'm like, wow. If I started this thing maybe 3, 5 years ago, where would I have been today? So it's like it's really smooth and it's a very informative designing process, and I'm just enjoying it so far.
Okay, I don't know if Mike can have any advice on you based on your path of direction. Michael, Mike, are you here? I don't know if he's with us. Okay, because I know he's a bit busy. Chigozie, over to you. Let's hear your experience so far.
Okay. Um, Good morning. Asante, I hope you can hear me.
Perfectly well.
Okay. Do you mean like my experience so far in design, or do you mean my experience so far in motion, or do you mean my experience so far in designers DAO, the course itself?
I think more of the two motion design and designer DAO.
Okay. What has my experience been so far? Well, it's been a great learning curve. It's been
So
good.
not you can put your experience. So we
Started.
want to know how your experience have really been. Not you
Okay, my
can.
experience have been the experience
Yes.
has been awesome. The experience has been awesome. Starting out, started out not knowing anything in After Effects. Even had no idea about what motion design is. Although I've been seeing it, I asked some people and they said, "Okay, this motion design. How do I get into it? How do I go about it?" And then they have received some little advices here and there. And then I just started. That was January last year. And I just started and it's been good. And then having this opportunity to be in the class, it's been great. The assignments, everything has just been awesome. That's been my experience so far.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love your. I appreciate your honesty on this matter. You have been one of the people that have been very encouraging. The way you put out your content. You get you always make sure to do almost all the in fact all the assignments so far. I think you submitted all your assignments and you didn't just submit, you also engage in the public. You put them out in the public for people to for the internet to critique and see how you are going, and that is beautiful. Um I think one thing that help motion designers is when you share your progress, when you share your growth, it keep you motivated to do more or to be consistent for the sake of okay, I'm sharing the journey of mine and I'll be putting out my struggle, I'll be putting out my obstacle. So most times, personally, when I'm working on some project, even the one that are personal and the one that I have the right to share um some phases, I when I put things out, when I put things out, I get some feedback that can help me make it better. I get some feedback that can make it help me make it better. Even if most of the feedback I couldn't implement it on that particular project, but I've gotten aware of I've gotten the information and I try to implement it in my next project. That's why every time when I look at my next project, it's always better than my previous project. My current project will be always better than my previous project, and that's how the growth keep going. Yeah, that's how the growth keep going. I like what you'll be doing. Keep putting out your content there, tag people, let's critique it, let's see your journey. One thing I did last year when I was I started learning a new language on Duolingo, and every day I share my stack. You get it. Every day I share my stack, and at the end of the day, I got up to 3 months till the year end. Since I started, I've been 6 months till the year end, and I grow exceptionally because I put my work out for the public. But why I think one thing you should also note is that while you are doing that, while you're sharing your daily progress on your portfolio, on your major portfolio platform, it could be Instagram or Behance. Sorry, it could be Instagram, Behance, or a website. Try as much as possible to put out only the project you are interested in. Yeah, I think Austin said it yesterday as well. Put out project that you're interested in, not just because oh I'm doing project, let me put it out. You can put out other projects as a work in progress or behind the scene or something like that. But what should show on your major platforms should be projects that you are proud of at the end of the day. Like I know it may sound contradicting because you'll be like, okay, how do I put out that one and also be consistent in in putting out my learning growth? I think most of the time, depending on the application, you have way of doing going around this thing. For example, now we all know that Twitter, WhatsApp, Twitter, WhatsApp, and LinkedIn. These platforms are for they serve like a daily feed. You get, so this is what you use to engage with your community, engage with your audience. You get, it can be as little as a screenshot. So people don't can't count it as your portfolio per se. They are just saying that okay, this person is constantly working around this on something new and it's interesting. You get, so you get a good reaction. But if you are even if you want a platform where you can organize your expression, you get, package your expression like your website or your website, or these days people use Instagram for such case where if you want to show your catalog of projects that you are interested in. I think for those platforms that are more aesthetics driven, it's more about expressing. You can always you should try as much as possible to put out intentional content there, like your Behance. It's not all your projects that will go into Behance, for example. It's not all the projects that should go into Behance the way the flow was. You get, sometimes let me give you an inside let me give you an inside experience. I work with an agency as Spencer Zeal. Sometimes when creating brand delivery, we could use 2 months, 3 months, depending on how fast the project can be in creating these client deliverables. You get, we could use 2 months, 1 month, 3 months for their brand project, for example. But we don't just put it out on our portfolio platform like website, Behance, and Instagram. We always try as much as possible to now infuse our brand style or storytelling. Okay, storytelling. Now, when I mean storytelling, I'm referring to case study. I don't know if some people are confused whenever I say case study, because initially a few years back I would have been confused because I only think that case study only apply for UI UX designer, especially when they are writing a lot. But as a visual artist, as a motion designer, you see have case study. What is case study? I just breaking down the essence of the project. You get your process, your thought pattern, presentation, and the outcome. You get, this is where selling happens. You get, this is where you can actually sell your work or sell your views, your values. You get, and people get to see your in-depth personality on these projects. You get, so when we are working on projects like when we are working on big projects that I want to put out, sometimes we spend up to 6 months, depending on now. There are some factors that can be considered because we are still working on some other pending project subsequently. You get, maybe there are some urgent needs in real time brands. You get, but then the essence of what I'm trying to say is that be intentional about these platforms that announce you, that sells you, like your website. If you have a website, if you have a or if you are using your Instagram, be intentional about how you put out the content that you want to be doing more. That's the end story for Instagram. Put out content that you want to be doing more. For example, now currently you can be having a lot of job on let's say animated explainer videos. But then what you are really interested in the UI UX, for example, or logo animation or brand project. Even if you don't have opportunity to work on a client project for this project, you can still pick up a personal project or collaborate. You can still collaborate, and when you do this thing to your taste, you can put something out. You can put something out. So there's no pressure of how fast or how soon this kind of content can come out. But then be consistent, and be intentional about it, so that it will save you light years of um light years of of not having opportunities. I think that's the best one. Liking of not having opportunities and figuring yourself, because I think for my with my own self, when people we unintentionally this there are some traits that they look out for in order to tell if they can work with you. Again, in order to tell if they can work with you. For example, you need to be consistent. You get people can only work with you when you are very consistent in the game. If you check your content and the last time you made posts on your actual portfolio site or portfolio platform is like 4 years ago, they'll be skeptical about it too. And the best thing is that sometimes even I get my highest market leads every time I post a content. Sometimes people will, yes, they are following me and they want to do project with me, but then it's only when I put up an update, that is when they can, oh, okay, this guy is not alive. Oh. let us let us close the deal eventually. So be consistent with it and put out your best work on your actual portfolio side. I think that's what I want to say for as regards that. Who else is on this call? We have quiz. Hello, quiz.
Hi, Astonish. Good morning.
Good morning. How have you been so far? How
Fine,
have your
thank
experience
you.
been with the learner now?
Yeah, my experience with designers DAO. I think I came across it on Twitter and so, and I was like, I have to be part of this because one of my plans. I know it's a Web3 focused community, and all of my plan was to like get into Web3 and but not as a developer, obviously. So as a designer, and I was like, I need to jump on this opportunity, right? Um, so my background is as a graphic designer, which I've been doing for a while, but motion has never clicked. The learning
Wow.
curve or the how it has taken me a very long time to understand even after effects, and it has been so frustrating, right? So I was like, let me use this opportunity to fast track my growth, and so far, like it has been really eye-opening in terms of understanding. I mean, project breakdowns. I think that's the one that really helped me a lot. I mean, understanding how projects are done, you know, how we couple scenes together and things of that nature, right? So, I mean, so far it has been, and the fact that I can see, I can see these people are not, magicians. They are real human beings, right? So, I mean,
Okay.
learning from you, learning from uh, both Michael, and I know we invited someone again, then also from Spencer. So I can't remember his name again.
That
So
Victor.
yes. That project on Roku. So all of those things really like has boosted my confidence in learning, and also having to like do the assignments. So all of those things have really like shaped, and I'm now more confident. I think the part I've not worked on now is having I mean accountability partners, right? Because based on how I said it, how that I've tried to pick it up a lot of times, and I just always drop it. So I think I need to get people that are also working and network and interact. I think that's the part I've not done.
Okay. I understand. So let me give you a tip about getting this thing, this aspect you're saying. Um, for accountability partner, it doesn't happen suddenly. I have an experience one time. One time I was like that. I joined the physical what do you call this? It's like a skill acquisition. Okay, it's a boot camp, right? Yeah, a boot camp, exactly. I joined a physical boot camp few years back, I think 2018 or so. They
Mm.
called themselves Programmator. It was organized by the River State government in River State. And I joined the animation class, and I will be very honest. Okay, I'll be very honest. I have some experience joining them, and most of the time, even while we were doing projects, I didn't really have the time to follow them or to follow them or to again. But and I
Yeah.
couldn't really make friends then because everybody don't know. I don't know what you are capable of doing now. I don't know what the person can do. You get me. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when we submit projects or when we submit projects, you can now start seeing some people's strength. You get and you okay, how far? Oh, I like what he did here. Oh, makes sense. This and that. But when I really started having accountability partner was when it was actual when we did not have project time like ideal project because that is where you start seeing everything being played out and this is why you should take the next 2 weeks very importantly because this project will give you will test you on everything on every aspect. Trust me, it's gonna be an, an animated explainer 20 seconds again that you'll be animating from the start of the voiceover to the end of the voiceover. So a lot of things can come into it. You can actually use some stock footages. You can approach it via typography and shapes. You can go complex by doing full on character animation and everything. You can try some abstract animation that you see on the internet like Austin's and the rest, or you can go after the direction will be totally on you. You get even though the content is the same, you guys will have a different outcome at the end of the day. So in the process of figuring out this project, you get to encounter some obstacles, some blockers, and this is where you start seeing some people making comment and oh please, who know how we can do this? Who know how we can do this? Who know how we can do this? Again, and you get to interact with these guys. Okay, I at the end of the day, I started having my own accountability partner. Mine was his name is Mesha. And we became accountability partner because of internship. And during our internship, that was when I was learning it too. They thought of it Moho. I never used Moho for my assignment. Then again, but him we call him Lord Moho because all the tutorials available on the internet, he have consumed them. All the tutorials on Moho available on the internet, he have consumed them. But then being very grounded with After Effects, I had my own way of doing character animation and most of the animation in After Effects, but then they were limited to just Moho. So there was a collaboration between him wanting to learn After Effects and me wanting to learn Moho better. So we complemented ourselves. And why I had to learn Moho was because in the office space, everybody uses Moho. So I can't share access. I can't share my project file with them because they will have if not this project file that we are not made created in Moho. So I'm just doing everything from start to finish. So at the end of the day, I have to switch to Moho and learn Moho so that everybody can start sharing access with me. So I won't get all the workload. But aside that, with time you'll be joining some little motion design groups. You figure them out, you find them out, and you see people posting beautiful project, and you'll be like, oh, this person I can relate with his learning curve. Like you can just vibe that okay, this person is in my if it's actually the same phase with me, and you can now start approaching him. And these people are always happy to express themselves or share. Okay, this was how I used to tackle this. Sometimes they can literally just share you the actual tutorial video that okay, I watched this guy's content. Go and consume this guy content. I can I can say for a fact, when you have people in your peer, you always find it much easier to you find it much easier to go. So with with your with your what I call it, with the with your project coming up soon, another thing, the assessment for this week will be to create a motion design resume. One, it doesn't need to be so much professional. A motion design resume and the and have a portfolio site. So you can literally use any website of your choice, whether you want to pay for it, or you can use the free. You can use the free platform I've been using. That's very easy.io. You can use it. I think I shared how to start your project last week. Then in terms of content, you just need to learn how to describe yourself, your values, and what kind of project you are interested in. So this is your take. This is your take home assignment for the week. Create create your resume, create your resume, and if possible, a portfolio site where you can a demo portfolio site. It doesn't need to be professional. When I mean professional, it doesn't need to be so much detailed, like having so many details on it, but let it have content. That's what I'm concerned about. Let it have content. Do we have questions around this, please? Anybody have any question? Do anybody have questions about? I made mention of you guys going back to create a your resume and also and also a portfolio site, a simple portfolio site. Let me share the link you can use, vzy.co if you don't have it already. So you can use this to create yours. Will you have issue using this platform? Do I need to walk you guys through using it? Okay, no problem. So
No, no,
for
yeah.
your okay, please you are saying
No, I
something.
said you've shown us. No, I said you've shown us how to do it already.
Okay, so that means by when do you guys submit your assignment again? When is that? When do you guys submit? What submit? Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
I don't think we have an assignment currently.
Eh? When do you guys turn over your assignment? That was what I was asking.
I'm not sure there's like a specific date like that. There's always been a deadline set.
I think it's Wednesday, Thursday. Oh.
I mean,
Yeah, it's Wednesday, Thursday, I think. Yeah,
Okay. Now,
should be Wednesday,
uh,
Thursday.
so yeah, beautiful. So we are not asking for too much because you'll be doing your project along with this thing. So please, I want you guys to create your resume, update your resume as a motion designer. Imagine you will be applying. Imagine you are so this is the assignment. Imagine you are applying for a job at a agency and you know the normal requirement. You know the normal requirement for they will always ask you for they will equally ask you for a resume or a CV, the cover letter, and your portfolio site, if any. So having that in mind, create a cover letter. Because if you don't go through this fear now, believe me, after the class, if you can't go through this thing during this class, you will have this syndrome for 3 years. I'm not kidding. I've had that I've had this syndrome of applying for um motion design position for for 3 years of my career, and it make me miss out on a lot of opportunity. Yeah, there was just one that I was so very pressured to apply. That was when I was applying for a position for a position with Pop Center TV, a TV station at at Lagos, DFTV channel 189. And then I need to formally write a cover letter with a show reel and a portfolio site again before the actual interview. If and this opportunity was recommended by one of my mentor, Brian Ano again. And for the first time, I needed to write a cover letter. So he gave me some pointers and I had to create a show reel for the first time and a cover letter. And it was awesome. And after I go through that fear, I never like creating cover letter now. If you tell me that okay, hello Astonish, we have a role that fits you at Apple. Apple is in need of a motion designer now, and they need me to send in my resume. I can customize my current cover letter to suit the position because I've been doing it time without number. That now I now have my own personal tool. I now have my own personal tool. You can always update your cover letter. You can always update your resume. Please, and in fact, please update your resume. And update your resume always. It's not something that there's not a perfect resume ever. With your experience with time, just you should know what kind of caption work best, what kind of layout work best, and you find people sample. These days, nobody hide their resume. Oh. You can just simply Google some of your favorite motion designers, and if you just find a way to look at their LinkedIn, their resume is already there. You get look at their website. Some of them have kept their resume for opportunities. So nobody hides their resume these nowadays. You get find a resume that you can relate with and find your tone. You can also equally use chat GPT to make your grammar more convincing. You get with your own intuition can have something that describe you professionally and can convince people to hire you for anything. So send in your resume, design your design design your resume and also your portfolio site. I think for your resume, I would prefer if your resume is clickable. What I mean clickable, like it can actually link to some um your social media project and anything. And if you really want to do this, I think you can use Figma. You can use Figma to create your resume because you can actually link with Figma. Illustrator, yes, you can do it with your Illustrator. I did with Illustrator, but then I think their hyperlink was a bit technical. I had to do some tweaks before my hyperlink can work. And but then, if you want to, if you feel comfortable designing your resume with Illustrator, please do. But then I will recommend using Figma because it's very light and have all all the essential features that you need to put in to make your resume perfect. Then your portfolio site, please, you can literally use my own as a reference. Um, Let me share my own portfolio as so you can use that as a reference to see what are the kind of things that should be on it. Yeah, depending on what you want to do. I think that's it. Do anybody have any comment? If not, we can call it a day. I have.
Nah, Chief, I really do not have any question.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So I'll be expecting to see what you guys can turn in for your portfolio, because if you can get your portfolio now, even if not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily need to have content. When I mean content, like actual videos per se. But when you just design your layout for your portfolio site, okay, this is the layout for your showreel, this is the layout for your about section. At least that one you can be able to build on that. This is the layout for your projects. If you can get those things done, as you grow, you update it. When you make a new video that is worth talking about, you update it. When you make a case study, you update it. When you are when you want to apply for a job, and depending on the outcome, you can know how to update your cover letter and how to update your CV, so that you won't miss out on the future opportunity. You need to try. You need to try and fail forward. That's all I can say. I wish you the right success in your project. Your um, moderators give will share the update of what you need to get started, resources, access, and the script. And I can't wait to see how you guys can um, come out come out strong with this. While doing the project, you are entitled to reach out to any of your mentors and any of your facilitators to ask questions on things that can be of that are your blockers. Maybe you are trying to do something and you don't know how to go about it, but this is your idea. I think let me just talk about app push one more time. I know we had a class for app push, but let me just share this. When you are given a project, for example, you are given a script and a voiceover, and you get to know what the brand is about and what is their call to action, what they want from the video. You get to understand the kind of research you need to know. Is this same research applied to when you are doing a branded project if you're a designer? Okay. You know the goal of the goal of the message, who are the audience, what's their vibe, what's the tone, are their brand guidelines, do this brand have a color scheme, do they have typography, do they have preferred imageries and everything. So you include this to your archive. The next thing you should start to do is to visualize the script. Don't look at all the paragraphs from the start to the finish. Break them down into scenes, and by scenes I mean okay, this whole information is talking about this goal. Break them into one, group them. The second part of the script is talking about maybe it's talking about weather. Okay, then the third one can be talking about danger of something. For example, you group this idea. Then the next thing you have to do is to start to imagine ways that you can express this idea and not stay off the message. I think Victor did that when he was explaining Roku. When the script was talking about obstacles and how Goku have been facing their obstacles and they are rugged and they are forward thinking again. So he explained that concept idea, those with all the technical terms, with just a ball and some other shapes. You get a ball and some other shapes. You get so you don't need to be very technical with your approach. Find the most simplest thing that explain the full grammar that the script was talking about and go with it. If there's anything that can be more simpler, always go with the most simplest concept. The most simplest concept. And now I'm not talking about okay, using typography, just spell out the idea. That's not what I mean. By most simplest concept, I mean the something a gesture or an expression, a visual expression that even a kid can understand, even if it's not literally saying something, but then they can put a meaning. And somebody that does it a lot is Austin from Raven Team, Raven Team, Austin Noah from Raven Team. If you watch their explainer video, they are always abstract with their ideas. They don't use so much technical um, movement. You get, you just find a very simple thing to explain something very logical or very complex. You get, especially when you explain something in a very unfamiliar territory like Web3, crypto, and blockchain. You need to use simplified terms in your motion design. You get, because you're a storyteller, and as a storyteller, when there's no communication, you fail the project. You get, so at the end of the day, make sure that there's communication, and you are responsible for communicating the idea well as a motion designer. Thank you so much, everybody, for this long. Thank you for being a part of this platform, the first of its kind from DesignersDAO. I can't wait to see you guys in the future when you are up there doing so many inspiring projects. I can't wait to work with some of you as well. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.